Donald Trump wants it all and he wants it now. But some of his close allies are apparently standing in the way of his legislative strategy. Okay, so we know from our experience of the first Trump term that he is likely to pass one bill as president. And we know that it's going to include his tax cuts because taking a bunch of your money and handing it over to billionaires is literally the only thing that he actually cares about. But that's not to say that that's the only thing he's going to do in the one bill he passes. He has decided he's just gonna put everything into it. All the stuff they've talked about will be in one bill, and they're referring to this strategy as mega maga because everything from here on out in American politics has to be as stupid as possible. Just be clear about that. It's all dumb, floor to ceiling. So mega maga is the strategy. And he posted on True Social. What's that?
Mega maga.
I know, it has to sound dumb, and it does. So he says members of Congress are getting to work on one powerful capital B bill that will bring our country back and make it greater than ever before. We must, in this bill, secure our border. Well, that's nice of him after he killed it last time. Unleash American energy, renew the Trump tax cuts, which were the largest in capital H history, but we will make it even better. No tax on tips. It will all be made up with tariffs and much more from countries that have taken advantage of the US for years. Okay, we're gonna stop there. So first of all, the no tax on tips thing, we've already broken it down. Everybody's debunked it. It will do literally nothing to the people that most need the sort of benefit it's pretending to be. It's not gonna help people. Back when I was waiting tables, back when I was bartending, stuff like that, the tax brackets don't work out in a way that would actually, it doesn't benefit you literally at all. But other people, hedge fund people, they're gonna be able to classify some of their income as tips, and they're gonna make bank off of this. All of this is for the rich, both the stuff he doesn't want you to focus on, and even his little squirrely no tax on tips, that's for the rich too. And it will not in any way be covered by tariffs because you're gonna be paying the tariffs, okay?
Everyone
you don't get the tax cuts and you pay for them.
Please lie on your TurboTax, people. I'm saying it here and now. You need to lie your ass off. You need to complete, like, this is not fair, okay? Until we write the tax code, you're writing everything off. I'm going to be audited 100%. And probably it's gonna be bad, guys. I just wanna.
Yeah, look, I'm sure that with the mega MAGA branding, a lot of conservatives be like, yeah, we're finally gonna get to, no, this. Look, I understand how they think of politics and the terminology that they use. This is all gonna be forced down your throat. Conservatives love when you talk about legislation like that. This is all being forced down your throat. They are handing literally trillions of dollars. It's gonna be like $5 to $10 trillion. Okay, that's a lot of money. It needs to be offset, and it will be offset. You will be offsetting it because everything, basically everything, 70 to 90% of what you buy will be more expensive because of his tariffs. And that is how they're gonna offset some, but let's be clear, not all of it. Because in the end, not only are they gonna hand money to rich people who you think on some level that you hate and yet you'll be subsidizing the lifestyle of, and you'll be paying more, it's also gonna jack up the deficit and the national debt. I don't know how many conservatives actually care about that anymore. Generally, it's a thing they only care about when the Democrats are in charge, and then we're not supposed to talk about it when a Republican takes over. But he's also gonna add, I don't know, $2, $3, $5 trillion to the national debt. He did even more the first time. He's gonna do a lot this time too. So this is obviously a big ask, Francesca, to do all of this stuff. Like they can only get a couple of defections in the Senate. I don't know how you pass like literally one part of this by itself. I think he's hoping that the Republicans and maybe some of the Democrats will be so hot for the tax cuts that they'll just go along with all of these other things, culture war stuff and border stuff and everything else that they jam in there. We'll have to see. What do you make of this strategy?
I mean, I think that the lead in the House is also very, very slim. I think that's where you can pick off more people. The question is there enough time to build any kind of pressure against a massive bill like this? And they're trying to pass it through reconciliation, right? Which is the same thing that Joe Biden was trying to do in the initial stages and passing a part of his Build Back Better legislative plans through reconciliation. And that's when they were like, wanted to raise the minimum wage. That's the infamous sort of, Kirsten Sinema, little manic pixie dream girl thumbs down moment. But on top of that, they were like, can we put a minimum wage hike in the reconciliation bill? It does have to do with the budget. Can we do that? And they asked the parliamentarian, who is some sort of untouchable deity that Democrats I just learned about 4 years ago. And the parliamentarian was like, no, you can't do that. And this time around, you can bet your bottom dollar that the Republicans have the parliamentarian hogtied in a closet somewhere, or they've replaced it with like a ground squirrel or something, like some
or George Santos with a fake nose and glasses.
It's just Kitara Revanche, his drag queen alter ego, who's like, yes. So that's what they're trying to do. So it doesn't surprise me that they're trying to do what Democrats tried to do, except obviously for evil. The question is how much can be pushed back on, and how much can, I would say, constituents in some Republican states call their representatives and say, you better vote no on this, and put the pressure on for the Republicans that could be gettable.
Well, let's move to one who might be gettable. Okay, Lindsey Graham apparently doesn't think this is a great strategy. Listen to this.
You heard Mike Johnson and what President Trump wants. Can you get it done?
I'm very worried. I'm very worried that if we don't put border first and get it done, it's going to be a nightmare for our national security. There's no way in hell Democrats are going to give us $100 billion for mass deportation. Every day we delay is a dangerous day for America. To the tax cut wing of the party, I am with you, but if you hold border security hostage to get tax cuts, you're playing Russian roulette with our national security.
Yeah, he points out there that it's not just the border bill, it's also, we're gonna spend $100 billion going into every city in America, rounding people up and shipping them to wherever, just choose a country. So yeah, it's kind of a tall ask. Like we know that the Republicans are predisposed, like at a cellular level, to submit to Donald Trump, but they've defied him on some things, and this is a lot. Like it's gonna be very difficult, and so I don't know, like, is there any chance? Look, even if it flames out, they can come back and just do the tax cuts. I don't think there's any way we're getting through this without them making a serious play for that. Mega, MAGA, alone, whatever. And with the way the Democrats are, they're likely to get a significant portion of that at the very least, if not the entire thing. But it just seems like Donald Trump, we should always remember, like, he's gotten away with a lot. He's also an idiot. He is an actual dumb person. And so it is entirely possible that he will push them towards a political strategy that has a very small chance of succeeding, when doing it more piecemeal might be a little bit slower, but more likely to actually succeed.
But I mean, if you put it into one big bill, it makes it a lot easier to pass, right? Because if Lindsey Graham's being completely dishonest about playing Russian roulette with the border, and we all know they're being dishonest. Number one, don't need more border security. You need an immigration system that works. Number two, you have already been playing Russian roulette on their terms, because they didn't pass that stupid bipartisan border bill that was actually incredibly right wing. But the real thing is that you can unite the racists and the elites by by putting the tax breaks in with the border bill, and then it's a must-pass piece of legislation, right? So if Johnson wants to make sure that he delivers for corporations, which he will, but also for the racists, they can also be the same thing, then I would say, yeah, you put it together.
Okay, well, we're gonna see. That's his gamble, I suppose. Also, he's not literally in charge of that. Someone else could try to do it in a different way. But we know, especially early on, he's going to not only have a lot of influence, but he's going to be, very tapped in on a day-to-day basis. As we go further into his term, more and more of his brain will decay, slide out of his ear. He's not going to be as involved in the day-to-day, but at least in those early months, I assume he will try. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.